Stocks and shares ISAs are. Welcome to Ticks and Measures, where we try to turn our hindsight into your foresight. Ugo here. Thank you for clicking into the video, and I hope you're having a lovely day. Happy Valentine's Day. Valentine is coming. So straight to the video. We had a subscriber ask us earlier in the week to explain a little bit about what stocks and shares ISAs are, and that's what we're going to do in this video, to briefly touch on what a stocks and shares ISA is and how you can use that for your benefit in terms of growing your wealth and increasing, the potential of you claiming you're financially free or retiring early, or not even retiring early, but just all of it works towards your favor. Now, in terms of what an ISA is, we've spoken about an ISA, what an ISA is in many videos, especially in our video we did recently about lifetime ISA, which is something you also want to check out. But to just say briefly, an ISA is an individual savings account, which just means that it's a tax-free account in which you can put some of your post-tax money in there and not pay tax on whatever you make in there. Now, a stocks and shares ISA is an account or a wrapper, whichever you want to call it, or portfolio, or just a situation in which you can put in your post-tax earned money into with the intention of investing the money. And all of the money in which you invest, you earn. Any gains you make on it, you earn tax-free. Now, with a stocks and shares ISA, the first misconception I want you to understand is that a stocks and shares ISA isn't only supposed to be used or can be used for stocks and shares in terms of putting into the stock market. Like I said in my just previously, is for anybody for the intention of investing. So you can invest in funds, in portfolios, in bonds, CDs, in multiple things you can invest in via a stocks and shares ISA. Now, obviously, you're only allowed to have one stocks and shares ISA at any given time, and you can only open one stocks and shares ISA per tax year. You can transfer your accounts from one stocks and share ISA to another account. That is pretty easy to do with all the switching that's available now. Now, within the stocks shares ISA, whenever I say, okay, you're going to earn any money you earn on there tax-free, to understand what the tax is that you wouldn't be paying any tax on for the money you make on there. You won't pay any income tax, you won't pay any capital gains tax, and you won't pay any dividends tax. Now, income tax obviously is tax on top of what you made, in the sense of that this is also money that you generated for yourself, if that makes sense. If you're a professional investor especially, and you're trying to live off of this, and this is the income that you declare, you can get income tax on that. Capital gains tax is basically, if I put £1,000 and then I make £2,000, the difference of £1,000 would be taxed at a certain rate. So that's capital gains, any money that you've made on top of your initial investment, and then that will be taxed at a different rate. Then there's a dividends tax, which is, if you know what a dividend is, it's just a profit sharing, what companies do when they make profit and they want to share it within their masses. So obviously, if a company doesn't have profit, it's not going to have any dividends, and this is money that people can get quarterly. If you have a lot of money invested, it can mean that it can be a lot of money, and then that money is taxed. Now, obviously, if you're doing this within an ISA, you will not get taxed. The only tax that you will experience if you are using an ISA within the UK is stamp duty. So stamp duty is like a fraction of a percentage. Well, I forget what it is today, but it's a fraction. It's a very small percentage of whatever UK company you invest in. You will pay stamp duty in owning that company, as well as if you are. This one happens automatically when you're signing up. The broker normally does it for you, but there's a withholding tax that is charged for US. That's charged for US stocks, and that just is taken out at point of purchase or point of sale, whichever one they feel like doing it, because I forget at this point in time, so don't quote me on that one. But essentially, a stocks shares ISA is that any money you put in there, you can make tax-free, barring stamp duty. But essentially, all ISAs are tax-free accounts. Now, the difference between the stocks and shares ISA from all the other ones is that in terms of how much you can put in your stocks and shares ISA, you can put the maximum amount in there. So this is for this year, for this tax year, you have £20,000 available within your ISA allowance for you to invest. Now, you can put all of this money into your stocks and shares ISA. So you can effectively invest £20,000 per tax year and not pay any tax on any of the gains. So even if it times 100, if you put, assuming let's say beginning of lockdown, you put 20k in Tesla and the money is obviously tripled or quadrupled by now, you wouldn't pay any tax on any of that money that you made. Whereas if it was in a normal invest account, then you would obviously have to pay tax on that. Now, obviously, in terms of your ISA allowance, now you have an ISA allowance of 20k across all your ISA accounts. So that includes the cash ISA, help to buy ISA, lifetime ISA, like we said, stocks, shares ISA, innovative finance ISA, and there's a couple of other ISAs out there. But essentially, within the stocks and shares ISA, the maximum you can put in any tax year is 20,000, or insert whatever the tax allowance, the ISA allowance is for that year, minus any money you've put in any other ones. So for example, lifetime ISA, the maximum you could put per tax year is £4,000. So if you've maxed out your lifetime ISA, then that's £4,000. So the max you can put in your stocks and shares ISA is 16,000. Then if you go and open a cash ISA, let's say you put in £100 a month fixed for 2 years, then let's say 1,200, you subtract that as well from the 16,000, so that's 14,800. Again, if you have a help to buy ISA in which you opened before and you're doing £200 a year, that's 2,200. Subtract that from that, you have you have 12,000. You have 11,600. Quick maths. 12,600. Yeah, 12,600. I was trying to do it on the fly. I was doing so well. You didn't even catch it. You thought I had a calculator here. No, my brain was doing calculation. Look how it's going. All right, cool. Back to it. But yeah, so stock shares ISA, you can use to invest in the stock market. You can also use it to invest in funds. You can also use it to invest in portfolios. So a lot of you guys would, if you're doing it through your bank, you have a stock and shares ISA with them, and they normally show you like free portfolios and say, in terms of your risk factor, are you adventurous, are you moderate, or are you conservative, or whatever acronyms they want to do, minimum, moderate, higher the risk, lower the returns. Typically within those, they are investing on your behalf, typically in stocks, depending on what industry in stocks, sometimes in real estate. So there's obviously stuff called real estate investment trust, which they can also invest in, or you can also invest in via your stocks and shares ISA. It's obviously platforms like wealthsimple, wealthify, etoro, moneybox, all these different ones that create portfolios for you to invest in, as well as stock market that you can invest in. If they provide an ISA, in my opinion, it's the best way to start investing. Obviously, you could, if there's not, obviously within stocks and shares ISAs, you can't invest in every single stock out there because due to it being a tax wrapper and a special type of account based on the HMRC, there are specific stocks that aren't available there. For example, last year I had some of my stocks in NEO via my stocks and shares ISA, and so the HMRC was like, yeah, we don't want these in your ISA no more, and so I had to sell, and then I bought some back in a normal investment account in which any gains I make on that, I will unfortunately have to pay tax. But you know what I mean, if you're getting taxed on gains, you got gains somehow, you get what I mean. So you can't invest on every single stock available via stocks and shares ISA, and so there are limitations within that in where you can actually invest. But for the purpose of you investing for the future and creating a platform for yourself to live off of, stocks and shares ISA is by hands the best way for you to start investing. Ultimately, no one becomes wealthy without investing in something, and obviously here we tell you to invest in yourself, your health, and your wealth. So this has been Tixi Mention Scheme. We hope that you're having a lovely day. Happy Valentine's Day. When you let me love you, let me be the one to give you everything. Okay, I'll stop singing. I apologize. So I hope you're doing well. Invest in those relationships you got there. Forgive each other. Reconcile your situations. It's all about love, man. So let's be making a prosperous life for ourselves. But start by investing in yourself, health, and your wealth. If you have any questions about stock shares ISA that we may not have covered in here, or any other things that you want to know about, drop it in the comments and we will definitely make a video for you, because our word is our word, innit? That's the thing. All right, hit the subscribe, like, comment. If you like and comment, that helps us out a lot. You know what I mean? Like, even just go put a thumbs up, hit the like button, subscribe, share it, and then over here, there's probably a video for you to watch. Down there, just because I don't know where I'm going when I'm editing this. I hope you are doing well. Don't forget to smile.